Way to go. Keep it going. Good job, guys. All right, Paul. I see you. All right, Brown. Let's finish. Coach Carl. Great job, guys.
Hey there, good morning. It's Friday the 13th. It's Black Friday today, and welcome to Conquer 2020. You know the story. 2 marathons, 2 books. That's what I'm chasing. I'm hoping that you're chasing something huge for 2020. Another year coming up, and another year that we can really make a difference. We can call it the pivotal year. You can call it the year that changed your life. Whatever you want to do, you can achieve. So let's really work together and let's really make it work. So today's concept is all about sometimes we get derailed, right? So you may have noticed there was no Facebook Live yesterday. And the reason for that was that we had an emergency come on one of our websites that we run and manage. It's a magazine website. We have a lot of publishers that actually publish their posts on there to help their clients get found on the internet. And we had a major issue. We had a major conflict within the site. Things weren't showing up the way that they should. So it was pretty much all hands on deck as much as possible. Now, considering that I already had a full day planned in respect of, the Facebook Live, and then I had a meeting that was to go through till 2:00, and then I had a couple of clients that I contacted and coached in the afternoon. It was a pretty full-on day. So unfortunately, the Facebook Live didn't happen because of that. But it's a really good lesson. It's a really good learning, because ultimately at times we're all going to get derailed. We're all going to come across an obstruction. We're all going to come across a roadblock. And it's about how we deal with that derailing and how we deal with that roadblock or obstruction and how we move forward from that. Because ultimately one of the keys that I really want to talk about is that the sooner you get on track, the better it is. So while we had the emergency and while I had to be dealing with that relatively hands-on, the reality for me was that while that was an immediate concern, I had to look after that for the clients that we have on that particular site. The reality was that I wasn't losing track of or focus on what I really had to achieve during the course of the day as well. So I knew that I needed to get back on track relatively quickly. So even though we had some hiccups and we had a couple of phone calls and emails, so we had a bit more email traffic than normal, ultimately this morning we were able to sort out some of that. So, but the reality is that we're going to get derailed. We're going to think about those things that have stopped us in the past. So I know that when we talk about goals and dreams and how do we set goals and how do we achieve goals, a lot of people are really good at setting goals. We're just not so good at achieving goals. And along the way, often what will happen is that we fall into some consistently bad habits potentially that derail us, or obstacles, or what people say to us, or how we're treated by others. When I was a bit of an ambassador for a weight loss company going back in 2009, a lot of the people undertaking weight loss programs, their biggest obstacles, their biggest blocks were usually the family or those closest to them, which is just really challenging for someone wanting to make a better life for themselves, wanting to go out and achieve something. And to have family members deriding that is an incredibly demotivating experience. So it's about understanding that. So what stopped you in the past? Because sometimes emergencies are going to happen. Emergencies like yesterday will happen. You get derailed, you've got to drop everything that you're doing, you're trying to sort something else out. But it's about what is the steps that you take to get back on track as quickly as possible. Once again, just talking about diet, sometimes what we'll do is, especially this time of year, if we're looking to eat better and be healthier and all of those things, sometimes we get derailed around Christmas parties. And one of the worst things that we can do is say, well, I ruined today anyway. I may as well have a blowout. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad thinking, because then it's even harder to kickstart again tomorrow. And we've already talked about tomorrow. That's where everything happens. The reality is, yes, if you've made a blue, if you've had an obstacle, if you've gone back on something, get back on track as quick as possible. If I've had a cake at morning tea, that doesn't stop me from having the lunch that I've prepped. Okay, so I want you to think about that. What are the obstacles and the barriers and the roadblocks that have stopped you in the past? And how can you map around them to minimize their impact? But even if you do get derailed, how do you get that mindset to get back on track as quickly as you possibly can? Because that's the key. One of the keys to success is, how do I get back on track? If we're consistently having little breakups or obstacles or roadblocks that continue to derail us, we'll never achieve what it is that we want to achieve. So it is about, it's an emergency. I have to deal with that. I've got to drop everything. Okay, emergency's gone. I'm back on track. Same with obstacles, same with roadblocks. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you are really focused on conquering 2020. You don't have to write two books and run 2 marathons. Whatever your dream is for 2020 is what you should be focusing on. I've got a dream of 2 marathons and 2 books, and that's what I'm chasing. And that's what, with your help and your support, that's what I'm going to achieve. But I want to do the same for you. How can I help? How can I support you in delivering what you can truly achieve in 2020? I'm Tony. Have yourself a great weekend. Until then, I will see you all.